Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fan? Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast. I'm Mike, that's Jules, that's John. We are back with another fine episode talking about the Giants coming off a big loss. But I just want to start the show out. Shout out to a good friend of mine, friend for the past, 25 years, played softball with him for 20 years, going, through a battle. Like, he just got diagnosed recently with pancreatic cancer. Really sucks to hear, but he's positive. He's going to get through it. He's going to be fine. He's going to make a full recovery. So just, if you believe in any of that kind of prayer stuff or whatever, just say some prayers, not only for him, but, anybody, going through stuff, because, sometimes life, there's always ups and downs. So appreciate the up times, so, because we're all going to hit those down times at some point in our lives, but, keep that out there, man. Just enjoy life and stop bitching on Twitter about stuff. And don't get into a car when you're fucking hammered drunk and drive 156 miles per hour down the road and kill a woman and her dog. Can you believe this? And before we get into the whole Ruggs, everybody knows about Ruggs. It's been all over the thing, Jules. But did you see what Kadarius Toney, our wide receiver, tweeted about that?
No, I did see what Derek Carr tweeted about it, but I have not seen what Tony did. Please.
God, I got
God.
I'm really nervous for this answer.
Yeah, seriously. And by the way, condolences to your buddy there. I mean, look, it's definitely one thing to just kind of realize that, as much as we do these podcasts, as much as we go back and forth with all the Twitter nonsense and the Giants and the state of that franchise, there is a lot bigger picture. There's a hell of a lot more to life. And we have to keep in mind that when it does come to this, it is just solely entertainment. And that us going out there and being a diehard fans and doing these shows and podcasts and talking about it is strictly entertainment. Players will say it, and it just kind of makes you, especially with hearing what happened with Ruggs. I mean, here's this poor woman driving down a private street, and now her life is over. It just kind of puts a lot of things into perspective, and it makes you appreciate what you do have. So you know what? At least we can sit here and argue about the Giants and tell us this guy sucks and fire that person, like we'll get into as the show continues. But, just keep in mind that it is just a game at the end of the day. And these dudes are making millions and millions of dollars while we're over here supporting and watching it. But please, now I'm hoping that you got that Tony tweet up, and I hope that it doesn't make me sound retarded for what I just said. But go ahead.
All right, that's a good laugh. All right, Kadarius Toney. So he came on Twitter this is probably just within a couple hours. He's like, this is what he tweeted about the whole situation about Ruggs killing a person. He tweeted, "We young, everybody makes mistakes. Y'all looking at the situation like this or that because it ain't y'all." Having so much to say, he messed up. Don't drag him for it. That's goofy to me. Just pray for the families involved. 100%. I'm like, why would you even just cut it off? Just pray for the families involved. That's all you got to say. You don't got to say we young and we make mistakes. Your young friend murdered somebody by driving 156 miles an hour down the road. That's insane.
And it was 156 miles down the road from what I heard, on a back street, not that far off the strip in Vegas. First of all, if anybody's been to Vegas, and I know you definitely have, Mike, I'm pretty sure, I think you have as well, John, you don't have to drive far. You can literally drive maybe 10, 15 minutes, and you are out of the city, out of the suburbs, and in the desert. In the desert, bro. You want to show off in your Corvette or whatever the hell he was driving? You could go out there and hit $150. Now, look, you may hit an animal, right? Because there's probably coyotes and things like that running around. All right. I don't mean to make light of this entire situation, but let's be real here. And then obviously if you can't drive or you're impaired, you might hit a cactus, you might drive off the road, you can fall in a ditch. Yes, that is possible. So I'm not trying to tell any kids that you should go out to Vegas, rent a car, and go drive 200 miles an hour down the road, right? But I mean, you would think that you had that much common sense. If you wanted to do that, you were showing off for your girlfriend or whatever he was doing, that you would do it somewhere where maybe you could get away with it, not flying down some residential street. I mean, like just sometimes like shit like that doesn't even make sense to me, man. Like, what are you thinking? Like, I just don't even know what the thought process is, man. And you know, that's why I sit there and I try to like, you know, make sense of it if I can. And you really can, you know, and then hearing what Tony wrote and how he worded things, and like I think his heart was in the right place. He was maybe trying to make you say like the guy was young and naive and didn't really know, like didn't understand the circumstances of the danger he was putting other himself and people in by going at high speeds and driving, because apparently probably has done it before. I don't think that was the first time Ruggs has ever pushed his car to that kind of speed. And you know, this time he was under some sort of influence. He was 2 times his limit. And yeah, it caused a lot of problems. And that's just the reality of doing things like that when you're taking that kind of a chance with driving and being under the influence and going 150 miles an hour. I mean, it's just insane.
Bro, drunk or not, 150 miles an hour is fucking fast, bro. Like highway, nothing around but trees and fucking pavement. 150 is fast. To be drunk twice the legal limit, doing 150 and take somebody's life, bro. At 6 years old, you know that that's not the right thing to do. At 22, like you can't just like take a Molotov cocktail, lob it into a crowd of people, and say, "Oh, I didn't think anybody was going to get burned." Like you're playing with fire. It's going to happen. Eventually, it's just going to happen. So it's just a whole fucked up situation, man. You feel bad for the family. You feel bad for everybody involved. You feel bad for the kid too, man. 22, 23 years old. You know, he kissed his future away, and you know, he's probably going to go to jail for however fucking long.
2 to 20, just on the one charge alone.
In Nevada, yeah, it's like like almost mandatory and shit. Like it's fucking
like he's doing that 2 years. Like that's pretty much what he's gonna have to do. Like, and that's just the bare minimum. And that's before any other charges occur. And who the hell knows? No families press charges. I mean, there's gonna be a ton of stuff with that.
Listen, before like growing up, like, you know, before Uber and all that shit came out, there's only taxis for us. There's so many options for these people to fucking get home safe. And like, listen, I'll admit it, I drove drunk like a few times, but when I drove drunk or like with a buzz on, I never floored it and went 156 miles an hour. If anything, I drove like under the speed limit. Like I just gotta take it slow and just
cruise control.
Like I'm not gonna be fucking just, you know, crazy. That's just fucking insane, man. I bet his team, his lawyers and shit are gonna claim like something to do with CTE. I bet that kind of shit. Like, oh, I had concussions and made me do this
early in a career.
I bet
that dude's only in his early 20s. Is like, man, what were you playing without a helmet on?
Hey, listen, he played in the Pee Wee League, the high school, to college. Like shit, man. Like I don't know. These people.
I think they're just gonna make him plead out. He's gonna have to hope that family. I don't even know what to say for them except prayers and sorry. But yeah, I mean, no, dude, he's done. But I did mention that, you know, I wasn't gonna just have Tony get thrown under the bus for any kind of quotes or tweets or anything that was said, because David Carr came out and said some stuff too as well. And he says in quotes, he needs to be loved. If no one else will do it, I'll do it. Quarterback Derek Carr. That's what he said after this. I mean, like, wow. I get the feel for your teammate, but like, dude, your teammate fucked up bad. You know, like, oh man, dude. I understand he might need some love, but damn, bro, like, so do a lot of other people that are not killing and driving 150 miles an hour. So yeah.
Fucking psych.
But anyway, man, look, that I think kind of just sums up, you know, just how important and fragile life can be, and how there's other things outside of sports. But with that said, it is we are the Big Blue Offensive Giants podcast. We did play the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday. We are going through what I don't even know what to call season. Maybe I'll just call it like another season that we are so accustomed to after all, you know, in the last, like, say 9 years or so, right? Or 9 out of the last 10, right? Off to another 2-6 start. What to do, who to point fingers at, what to blame. I don't know, go on for days. You know, there's a couple of things we'll get into, especially when we get to that next topic that we have, Mike. But, you know, to recap the game, look at it. Yo, look, I was holding on. We were in the game. It was entertaining. It was fun to watch. The guys were out there competing. I mean, from a fan's perspective, it's not really like I could get mad at any players, right? They look like they were out there playing. They were playing their asses off. They were competing. I mean, look, that team was in the Super Bowl last year. Say what you want. Say they're having a bad year. Say Mahomes isn't himself. I don't care. You can make a million excuses under the sun for them. But if us Giants fans can't make excuses, the hell we're making any for them, right? And we were with them. We were hanging in that game till late. Yes, it sucks that Shep got banged up again and Tony. And it's just like this reoccurring theme that never ends. It's literally the same thing, just over and over, week to week. This guy gets hurt. I don't think we've had a game without a major starter, or at least the person starting at that point in time hasn't gotten hurt and missed the rest of the game, or missed the half of the game, or missed the full quarter. I mean, dude, that's just ridiculous. And we could get into some of that later on. But again, I don't want to fucking harp on injuries. I don't want to harp on the nonsense that we've been talking about for the last 2 months. Right. It is what it is. We're aware of it. The timeout issues, I think that's something more to talk about. I'll let you guys kind of get on that because, look, that cost us burning 2 timeouts in a tie ball game early in the fourth quarter, and then of knowing that you still have Pat Mahomes on the other side of the field and letting him be able to drive down that field, take the potential 3-point lead, and now you give it back to your quarterback who's missing tons of weapons, a shaky offensive line, his star running backs out, and now you want him to go down the field to tie the game with no timeouts? I mean, listen, I don't even think the GOAT could do that kind of nonsense. So, it's just overall just been another sort of disastrous season. And it's getting sort of tiring, not just the losing, but being in tight games and not winning them. That is really annoying too, because, we were saying this last year over and over and over again. Oh man, we lost to Tampa by 2. We lost to the Eagles by 1. We lost to the Cowboys by 3. We win a couple of those games. Look at that. We win the division. We're in the play. But that's now becoming a reoccurring theme as well. It's too many of these tight games that we just never win. And we have a good kicking game, even though the rest of the special teams we can make some comments about. But we do have a good kicker. So, tight games, you usually come down to field goals. And yet we still just can't pull one out ever.
The amount of bad luck this team has is just ridiculous. I know really it comes down to, a handful of plays, most games in the NFL. But it's just crazy how often some fluke bullshit happens. You get a penalty on a face mask on that last drive where it wasn't even close to a face mask.
Nope.
And, I'm not saying that was the reason they won, that was the reason they lost, or whatever the story is, but it's always some bullshit like that you go through game by game and you just don't see that stuff happen on a regular basis in the NFL, except if you focus on the Giants exclusively. It happens every fucking game. Every game is okay, we win, great. All right, a couple times in the first half of the year, maybe a few more times in the second half of the year, and then it feels like every week is a gut-wrenching loss. It could have just been one play. The Shepard, the Slayton drop, the Adoree Jackson drop, the fucking non-call. It's always one call that just separates us from having a great season from having a disastrous season. It's fucking exhausting, guys. It really fucking is exhausting. I defend this team probably more than fucking most knights defended kings back in the fucking day. And I'm not even kidding. And it's just you know what? I'm going to watch every Sunday, but I'm damn sure not going to any fucking games. I'm glad I'm not a season ticket holder. Imagine paying thousands of dollars to get fucking just stroke like that every year. Fuck that shit. Feel sorry for you. Whoever's sell your tickets, man. Sell them to fucking Giants fans who want to go, out of towners, whatever. Just don't sell them to fucking Eagles fans and Dallas fans.
I know you defend the Giants, man. The way I read all your tweets, Sean. But getting back to the timeouts, I don't know, my perspective on the timeout situation. I know everybody went nuts the next day. Judge saying on the post game saying he couldn't hear anything, problem with the headsets, blah blah blah. But my perspective watching the game, I thought he called the timeouts because he was trying to help out the defense, and by putting so much concentration on Mahomes not scoring, I thought they were so worried about that. I thought the defensive game plan was actually fantastic. They let Tyreek Hill catch maybe little 3-yard outs, in which he got today, 8-10 yards at times, but they made him catch these little passes. They didn't give up big plays. They totally took out Travis Kelce out the game. Our linebackers held him in check, which I I found like really great. They pressure Mahomes a little bit. They got there. Secondary play was fantastic. The game plan was good. They let him eat up a couple, a bunch of yards, settle for field goals, maybe a touchdown here. They got that pick early in the game. And then Daniel Jones, of course, gave it right back. But I thought it was a good game plan. But, at the end of the game, knowing we're going to get the ball back with a couple minutes left, and we just know that Daniel Jones don't have the time to actually throw the ball more than 15, 20 yards down the field because he's getting hit like left and right. So we kind of knew the game was over right there. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is when you pretty much lose 4/5 of your starting offensive line. You're not going to score a lot of points like that way. And until we get people healthy, it's just we need Andrew Thomas back because that's a big difference, like losing him, man. And, if we could squeak by a win against the Raiders next week and then have the bye week and Andrew Thomas comes back, that'll help out the line big time. And obviously he needs it, man. If you look at the tape, just watch the tape, man. Can you imagine just automatically getting fucking like one Mississippi, boom, and fucking somebody blitzes, back in the day, and then you're done. What can you do?
No, listen, it's by far Thomas is the best lineman that we have on the football team, and he's been out. He's been out for a significant amount of weeks, and you just can't keep adding to that. It's just insane. It goes on and on and on with the fucking injuries. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse about this, but it does limit what you could do. I don't care what you were saying. It just does, man. If you're driving a car that doesn't have the right tires on it and it hasn't been tuned up in years and you're going on regular gas instead of putting something super, it's not going to run as good as it would if the guy's keeping his car pristine and the tires are fresh and the brakes are well. That car's going to be a better car, right? It's the same kind of concept when it comes to this, and how the team's been. But we've been here. We've been saying this. It's a never-ending story. The injuries just don't stop. Look, we could be in Kansas City and they still occur. That's what I was saying last week. You could say what you want about the, MetLife turf, but it's not like we're only getting hurt at home. We get hurt on the road. We got hurt in Dallas. We got hurt in Washington. I mean, we get hurt everywhere. So it definitely ain't about that anymore. I'm kind of over the injury talk. It's annoying at this point.
It's just defending people with it. It's just it's common sense. If you have no offensive line and you're putting bums out there, you have no weapons to throw the ball to. It's just common sense. But people like to blame other things. They're blaming Mara. They're blaming management. I'm like, you can't blame people that. I'm done talking about it. It's fucking. It's a waste of my fucking breath.
The only thing I didn't like, though, that I will have to add as a takeaway from this week was say what you want about the timeouts, because you were kind of right about that, Mike. There was that timeout. I think it was the second drive in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken, when we put the touchdown back on the board for the Giants. It came back down the field. We called that timeout on third down or fourth down. I remember right on the goal line. I remember the down exactly, but we called that. And that I thought when he called that timeout was just because he didn't like what he saw. He saw something in the defense. And then what we do, I said, all right, now we got to execute. And we went out and we did. But for him to then take the criticism, because it isn't just been this game, it's been other games, and now try to play this whole, we had this headset issue going on the entire season. I'm complaining about it. And almost throwing out threats yo, somebody at the NFL better get it done or else, It's kind of dude, look, I think you guys are going to take one thing on that approach. But for me, I feel like that's a spoiled kid that just got beat again. And not that he's looking for excuses, but he is. And then he wants to be tough at the end of it, being yeah, or else. Or else what? What are you going to do, dude? You ain't doing shit except you're going to keep the fucking team losing. So stop with that bullshit. You ain't getting nobody hyped. Come on, bro. To me, that was just not necessary. He could have said there was issues that caused for us to use a couple of timeouts, and then we used them a couple of times to make the right call when we saw something and we adjusted, as you could see on this and this. That's it. And you leave it at that. I don't know, man. That kind of got me where, if Judge is losing credibility like he is this season, he just lost a little notch on my book.
Jules, they could have had 140 timeouts with a minute remaining, and they still wouldn't have fucking won that game.
I mean, that's fair, but
for real.
Oh man. But yeah, man, like I said, John, you don't really have anything left to say about this game, right? I'm please don't even bother, bro. I mean, save your energy.
I know, it's just you make one play, you win that game, and just imagine what we were talking about right now. going against the Raiders, who are shorthanded at home, flying across the country. All of a sudden, we're going into the bye week 4-5. It's not what you want. Like, it's a whole different conversation. But now it's just like we're doing this podcast just to have the fucking fun of doing the podcast. Like, it's the same conversation we have every fucking week.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
But
listen,
fucking bummer.
Well, we do have some interesting inside news that Mike has a very reliable source, which he's heard about this week, which may surprise some, may not surprise others. I think we should maybe get to that topic, take a quick commercial break. We'll do the preview, we'll do the picks, all that coming up. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Sure. All right, we'll be right back with NYG podcast. All right, we are back with the BBO NYG podcast. I'm Mike. That's Jules. That's John. Guys, Jules, what's the next topic, man? I think you had some questions. I think I might have texted you.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, I saw you tweet something out. If I wasn't mistaken, it was either earlier today or yesterday, along the lines of something that, like, yo, you have some news about OBJ from one of your inside sources that I am definitely aware of, which is reliable. And they had some crazy news, and you were going out there talking about how you were going to drop it, and it might surprise some people. So, Mike, please let us hear it.
Well, this is going back for a while. For people that listen to the old podcast I used to do with the Giants, and I dropped some knowledge there too about this person. The only hint I could give you is I know this person for like past 10 years up in Bedford, New York. Okay, that's the hint right there. If you connect the dots between the Giants and Bedford, you might figure it out. But anyway, he gives me reliable information. We talk a lot about the Giants every time I run into him. Back in the day, he told me about like a week before McAdoo was hired that he was 99% the guy. He told me about OBJ being, probably traded within the next couple of days to Cleveland or Indy. I don't know if a lot of people knew that Indy was kind of like in the mix for that, back in the day when Andrew Luck, imagine Andrew Luck teaming up with a young OBJ, before like the injuries really crushed his career. But he pretty much told me the Giants, like this, these phone calls didn't get put out there. It wasn't like that big of a deal. They're kind of just like kicking the can about it. But the people in the organization, the Giants organization, were kicking the idea of trying to trade Kenny Galladay and his big contract to the Browns for OBJ, since his contract's going to come pretty much off the book soon. So it's almost like the Giants were like, I don't know what does that tell you guys? Like it kind of tells me that maybe the Gettleman era, might be over after hearing that news. Maybe they kind of want to start over and get more money for somebody new that might come in there to have like a little more flexible room, especially with Tony coming aboard and pretty much and Slayton on a young contract. I think that's why they didn't trade Slayton, by the way. But that was the news. Like, so OBJ could have came back to New York, but I think maybe Cleveland wanted like a little bit more of incentive, like maybe a high draft pick, and I don't think the Giants were going to go there. But like I said, like the idea was tossed around, it was talked about in that room, but it never really got that far or materialized.
I mean, dude, that's fucking crazy just to hear that. All right. That is absolutely bananas that they were going to talk about trading Galladay for OBJ. It doesn't make sense to me. To me, I was a big supporter for Galladay to come in here. I think he's a tremendous talent, but it is just outright certain that guy can't stay healthy. All right. That's it. You'll never get a 16-game season out of Galladay. He's not that guy. He can't stay on the field. I don't know what he does to his body. I don't know if he over pushes himself. Who knows? But he ain't the guy. And now you want to bring in Odell, who's the same fucking situation. He don't stay healthy no more. That guy don't play 16 games. Yes, I get it. You would have moved the big contract out. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, OBJ's a free agent next season. So that would have freed that up. And now you could bring in whoever you want to replace that in the wide receiver area. But at the end of the day, I was definitely not a fan of doing that. Like, oh, you want to trade back with the same team? Like, it makes zero sense to me. And as far as, and I can get into a little bit more, but I know John's going to want to comment, especially after I drop this. As far as the fucking Getty guy or whatever the fuck, I'm going to just call him Getty guy. right? Ain't no Getty guy. Like, that name is done. All right. So the Getty guy, yeah, his fucking reign as GM is over. That shit is done. All right. There is no tomorrow. Look, it may not end next week or this next month or whatever, but by the end of the season, one way or the other, Getzelman is gone as the Giants GM. I said it to you guys last season when they were told, when people were calling for his head. I said, look, the way that this is going with the new team, a lot of young talent here, he's got one more year. But if the Giants come out and they have a bad year, terrible start to the season, he's going to go, period. I can go on for some of the mistakes he's made. Look, we can start with what we just talked about. He went out and signed Kenny Galladay. You know what? We could have saved about $6-7 million and actually went and got Corey Davis and got more production out of him. All right. And he would have been just as good. Or maybe we would have been able to play Kadarius Toney a month sooner instead of holding him off for 5 weeks. So you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like Galladay came in here and lit it up. And that's one of his major signings. Not to mention him trying to go out and get those hog mollies where I could go through this whole entire offensive line. And Nate Solder is absolutely terrible. He fucking sucks. He can't block. I think I could get by him if he fucking tried to block me. And I ain't fast, all right? And, like, it's just a joke. If you look at him going after his hog mollies, he got his Andrew Thomas solid. He's going to be a contributor. I'm a big fan. I think the guy's got a ton of potential. You look at Hernandez. He's been okay. He's been up and down. We move him the right guard. He's looked great at times. He's looked like garbage at times. I don't know if that's because the right tackle's been in question. Pert's still a lot of time to develop. I don't know. We'll see what happens when Thomas comes back. We move Pert back to the right side. Hopefully he helps line that up. And then you had Gates. Gates was pretty good. He was solid, great fighting guy. That's your hog mollies. When he leaves after this year, you have Andrew Thomas. We don't know if Gates is coming back, and we don't know if Pert develops. That's what you call going after hog molly. So 100%, Dave Gettleman is done as GM. Say all the fucking things you want about everything else. Oh, and by the way, real quick, just because I know you guys are Peppers fans, and that was also part of that initial trade, how good has the Giants defense looked the last 2 weeks without Peppers? Just wanted to throw that in there. That's a little side shot for me.
Oh my God, you're crazy. Let me just be John before you go, man. Chris, I mean, my source also said that Gettleman won't get fired, but it'd be most likely a retirement if he decides to go, or the Giants decide they'll do the right thing and let him go that route. If that's the case, it was 50-50 before the Kansas City game, you know what I mean? So it could be like more 70-30 of him gone. So, we'll see about that. I also got another OBJ story from back in the day from years ago. But John, what's your thoughts on that, man?
I think that I get now that it's been 4 years that, like, all right, 4 years of the first 8 weeks of the season, 4 consecutive years where you don't have more than 2 wins in each of the first 4 years. Like, that's just tough to come down from. But you still won't convince me that this roster isn't better than what it's performed as.
The healthy
basically roster. Yeah, a healthy roster. Like, you're just not going to convince me that in 2020, if they stayed a little bit more healthy, and I just mean basically Saquon Barkley, that they're not an 8-8, 9-7 team last year. You're just never going to convince me that that's not going to be the case. Too many things were exactly what we said. One which will call it off. This year, most people had them winning 7, 8, 9 games. And now it doesn't even look like that may be in the case. And you just get ravaged by injuries. And that's not Gettleman's fault. Your offensive coordinator, you're coordinating Sterling Shepard going on a 2-yard route at the end of the game and getting stopped before the like, that's not Gettleman's fault. Yeah. All the offensive line injuries, that's not Gettleman's fault. Andrew Thomas, excellent left tackle. He played excellent, literally excellent when he was playing. Nick Gates, solid center. Matt Pert looked pretty good. He's not a world's beater by any means, but he's 22 years old. Who knows what it grows into? You know what I mean? Who knows what Will Hernandez would have looked like having competency next to him at center for more than just a couple of weeks. The offensive line wasn't the problem the first 4 weeks of the year. We literally were saying we thought that the defense was going to carry the team. We had to see if the offense caught up. The offensive line played well. Daniel Jones played well. It wasn't an issue at all. Now it's a revisionist history that, it was a garbage line, this, and that. No, they were adequate. They let the offense do what they had to do. It was because the play calling sucked. And that's why they were fucking losing games. It was coaching. Coaching has caused his team to lose more games than any of the talent on the team or lack thereof talent. It's just you're just never going to convince me of the case.
Wait, you're going to tell me that if we kept Gettleman and we go into year 5 of this draft, this is to be his year 5, and he gets this other draft, he doesn't have to address the offensive line once again?
Wait.
You think they're confidently tell me that? How? How could you say right now going in? We're going to look at that.
Jules, the entire pre-draft process. Who did I want to take in the first round?
No, I get it. I get that. But I'm just trying to say, but we have to address it again. So here's the GM that you're supporting, that you're saying made some, because he did. He got some talent here. I'm not going to say like the guy did the worst job ever seen. But you got to keep in mind that he's been preaching hog mollies on the offensive line. We're going to get both lines. We're going to run the ball. We're going to do this. He doesn't bring it in. He brings in Booker T. He brings in fucking Nate Solder. He brings in guys that are underperforming. He's bringing in guys that can't stay healthy. That's a factor. That's a problem. I would go crazy if we gave him a 5th season of drafting. That would I would lose my mind because, that's ridiculous. Like, what do you want him to do? Is he going to have to go get more offensive linemen again? Then you look at last year's draft, and as good as it was, except up until the 3rd round, right? 4th round, you got these guys that don't even play. They haven't been on the field. They haven't even contributed to this team. Shit, we got Quincy Roche off waivers from Pittsburgh when they cut him before the season started, and he's doing more than our 3rd and 4th round picks. Like, come on, you give me a fucking break. You go back to last year, you could say the same thing. So, there is an issue there. You cannot defend him no more. He had a shot. He brought in some talent. A good GM can come in and say, okay, look, I got to get rid of some of the fat, scrape it off, and here's the talent I got to work with because some of it works, and now I got to just improve where he made mistakes. And that's the offensive line to start because we weren't deep to begin with. We had a lot of suspect. We had a lot of unproven guys on that line, man. We did. We do. It's showing. Look, if that line was that good, you wouldn't see guard issues. You wouldn't see the problem. There wouldn't be miscommunication. They would be better as a unit, and they're not. Listen, Nate Solder was slated as the right tackle, so was Pert. And Nate Solder beat out Matt Pert to start the season. Fine. We'll say that Matt Pert was injured, and they were hiding the injury. We can go with that route. Fine. But, dude, there's obvious glaring issues still on that offensive line. He missed key guys that he could have gotten in that 3rd round. That would have been extremely helpful right now. And then you're looking at it where you say next year, cool, maybe we need one more offensive lineman and we're good to go. So, like, it's done. It's time to move on. Someone's got to get axed, and it's going to be him. Whether or not they let him ride out in the sunset and he retires, like he got impeached, and then like he steps down at some type of shit. But that's that, dude. Getty's gone, dude. There's no more defending him because we're off to another 2-win start after 8 games. Like, that's it. It's a wrap. He got to go.
You don't just cut off your hand because you got a bad fingernail, though. Like, you can't.
You know what? If my fingernail was hurting me for 5 years, I might cut the fucking thing off.
But he's not been the problem, though. Like, he's gotten talent on this team.
And then he's missed out some big talent too, which costs us a lot of money.
But what GM does it, though, you can't say that. You can't say that as if it's just specifically Gettleman and not every single person in the entire league. On average, his draft picks hit way more than most of the other GMs do. Sure, there's a couple of GMs that hit more often than Gettleman does. That's fine. But the majority of GMs aren't hitting at 60-70%. That's just not the case. It's just not the case.
But there was glaring issues where you looked at it. You could have kept Wayne Gallman here for cheaper. You went out and signed Booker. Yes, Booker's been serviceable. He's been serviceable. Maybe he catches the ball a little better than Gallman.
Again, that's wrong.
But you could have saved money there.
That is wrong.
Look at what you did for Galladay. He spent a ton of money.
Jules, timeout. Jules, timeout.
Okay.
Gallman was not a fit for the system. All Gallman could do was run 3, 4, 5 yards if given the opportunity. That's all he was. That's not the offense that they wanted to run. They wanted to run an offense more focused on throwing the balls to the running backs out of the backfield, more centered around explosive plays. That's what they were looking for. So you can't just say that. And also, maybe they didn't like Gallman's attitude.
Maybe
Gallman wasn't exactly thrilled about being here behind Saquon Barkley.
Maybe.
So just because you could say, "Oh, we could have kept Gallman," what if Gallman didn't want to be a third string running back?
All right, but you spent a good amount of money on Nate Solder. That was a disaster. You wanted to address a glaring need at wide receiver.
Necessary.
You spent a ton of money on Galladay. That's a disaster. You bring in Adoree Jackson when you spent a decent amount of money, and he's been good, but he hasn't been
like
great.
I'm on Twitter right
he hasn't
now,
been playing like a wait. You're gonna sit here and tell me Adoree Jackson's been playing like a top 10 corner that we went out and signed him for?
He's been fine, bro.
He's playing like a top 10 corner. That's what we signed him for. We were supposed to have like the top 15 corners in
NFL
the league.
free agency.
He's not. He's not playing
Welcome
like that.
to NFL free agency.
Yeah, but that's my point. And he has been, but he's been opening the wallet, and he opened the wallet big, and that's what buried him because he went all in and he lost. You can't go all in Texas Hold'em and then get rivered out and be like, "Oh, I want my money back, bro. You hit on the river. I was beating you the whole hand." It don't work that way. He pushed all in. He put his chips in the middle, and the Giants are fucking 2-6 to start the season again. That's it, bro. Time to go. GM gots to go. I don't care if the coaches have been making mistakes. Look, maybe the coaches have made mistakes. Maybe they're making mistakes because of some of the inexperience, which could address for some of the timeouts and some of the bad play calling and some of the other things. But on top of the injuries and lack of personnel. You know what? Now you got these guys that are trying to make us a pizza pie with crackers. Right, because that's what they're working with. You know what? Coaches are going to make mistakes because now they don't have what they thought they had. You know what I mean? You thought they were going to get dough and olive oil and cheese and tomato sauce, and they were going to make a nice pizza, and all of a sudden they got crackers and water, and they're trying to put that shit together and make pizza with it. Like, dude, that happens. That's where some of their mistakes get. Look, it's clear and severe here. If we go in, we get a new GM to start 2022. We come out, we start like this again. Judge is gone, dude. It's a wrap with him. Unfortunately, we'll have to fucking start over, and it's done. You bring in a new GM. He puts the right pieces in place. Judge gets his last shot because he's gonna be on the hot seat. And he screws it up, well, now it's on him, dude. And we're fucked because now we're the Cleveland Browns, we're the Detroit Lions, we're the Jaguars, we're the Jets, we're all those teams in one, all right? Because that's what reality is here, and that's what's happened. And you got to just accept it. I know you supported Gettleman. I know you're a big fan. I know we brought in talent, and I know on paper this roster should be better than what we are. But at the end of the day, we're not. And at the end of the day, there's guys that got hurt. And at the end of the day, the guys that he spent big fucking money on during the free agency ain't producing like they should be. Galladay is supposed to be a top 15, 20 receiver. He ain't even on the field. Adoree Jackson was supposed to be top 15 corner. He's not performing like that. He's been adequate. He's been pretty good, but he ain't performing like what we went out and paid him for. That's what you got to understand. You should be mad. Dude, imagine you own a business and you got some guys going out spending your hard-earned money that you got running your business, and these guys ain't even doing what they're supposed to be doing. You would want to fire them. And unfortunately, because of contracts and everything else and salary caps, you can't. So that's what you got to understand that. That's it. Gettleman is done. If there's one thing that Jules said tonight, Gettleman gots to go.
I bet you he doesn't go anywhere.
I hope he stays.
I bet you he stays one more year. I bet you he stays one more year. They give Judge one more year, and they let them see what happens with like the final chapter, the final swing. With this rebuild and with everything else, I bet you that's what happens.
Oh God!
Because if not, then this has all the stench of an Ernie Accorsi to Jerry Reese, a Stick Michael to Brian Cashman fucking situation written all over.
I was just thinking that
one guy comes in, goes through the rebuild, gets the talent, and then the next guy comes in and gets to fucking carry the trophies based on the hard work and the soiled reputation of the guy before him. It's written all over it.
The only way I'll like be like off of Gettleman, I'll be done with him if he was wrong on the Daniel Jones pick. If he was wrong on drafting a franchise quarterback, then I'd be like, all right, get this fucking guy out of here. But I don't see that. I think Jones has what it takes. You got everything you want in a quarterback. He's fit for New York. You just got to protect his fucking ass. And you guys missed a point on Booker. Like, listen, he's not that bad of a signing. He's just running behind backups. Like, what do you want him to do? Like, they're not opening up any holes. I don't see any holes on TV in the run game. Do you?
Nope.
No, I mean, there's not many. That's for sure.
But listen, I mean,
break.
Most teams in the NFL, like 25, 26, 27 of them, would instantly fucking use a second first round pick on an offensive lineman to upgrade their offensive line. There's probably 4 or 5 teams that are content with their starting 5 offensive linemen. Right. Look at their depth and tell me that you would say, okay, I'm going to take off 4 of the 5 offensive starters, and then I'm going to just fill in with the backups plus a couple of my practice squad players, and I'm going to expect them to perform as a top end offensive. It's just not how it works.
That's what I don't get. That's what I don't get, John. I don't get how people just do not see that. Like, what do you expect? It's like I said before on this fucking podcast, it's like, all right, like the 90s Bulls, like if they go to play a championship game, all right, but Jordan ain't playing, Robin ain't playing, and Pippen ain't playing. And you got to rely on John Paxson to drop fucking 50. Like, just stop, guys. It's a wrap. It's over.
All I'm saying is Jules is going to be triple G in it all night. Getty's gots to go.
You gotta put that as the title of this show, man. You gotta fucking
all right. That's it. And they keep this fucking regime, bro. I will have to go to Vegas in April. And I will get on camera. I'll probably get arrested because if we flip it out, I'll try to run on stage or some shit during their draft pick, especially with that first round with the 2 picks. If they ain't taking some offensive lineman and some pass rusher or some unbelievable linebacker or something crazy like that. Anything outside of that, I will fucking get arrested in Vegas by trying to run on the stage and fucking try to like tackle fucking somebody from the Giants just to be like, fuck you and Gettleman. All right, because I am over it, dude. Over it. And like I said, man, I'm really surprised that you guys ain't grasping that concept of it. If you owned your own business and you had an employee who was just dishing out money, and you're oh yeah, I'm gonna bring in this top CEO, and I'm gonna bring in this guy, and I'm gonna bring in that guy, and we're gonna build this organization, and our sales are gonna go through the roof. And all of a sudden, you're bringing in these guys, and they're not showing up for work. They don't even show up for work, man. Like, I don't give a shit what you guys want to say about the offensive line. If Galladay was on the field playing and he was actually fucking, he's not getting the ball because then Dale Jones is getting sacked, cool. I get it. I can't say nothing about that. You're telling me Nate Solder was able to play left and right tackle, and he's playing adequate enough where he doesn't look lost and out of place, where I could probably see freaking college kids run by him like it's a joke. Yeah, I'd be like, all right, cool, money well spent. If Adoree Jackson was like shutting it down and he had like 10 pass deflections and 3 interceptions and he was playing like that, I'd be like, cool, man, money well spent. But they're not. So you've got to look at that. And those are the most recent signings we have. So he went all in. That's cool. He went all in this year and he didn't get it. You don't get money back when you push it in the pot, man. That's it. He went all in. It didn't work out. Time to move on. That's how I feel. And that's why I got to keep saying that.
All right, Jules, can you stop saying that now? Can we get you off of that forever?
Kenny's got to go. All right.
You repeat and talk over.
We want to go into the preview about what we got to see with the Raiders this week.
You just repeat the same thing and talk over us over and over again. Mike, do you want to say something?
No, just it's time for Stephen A. Jules to get that. Hopefully, get that all out of your system. All right, so we don't have to need to fucking hear that anymore. So just like, another quick story about Odell Beckham Jr. This is going back a couple years ago. There's a little story, like, I tweeted out like a little preview before the fucking podcast saying, like, imagine if we got to hear what Eli Manning had to say about Odell Beckham, back in the day. And I got a little reliable information from a person that gives Eli another quick hint about the person. He helps Eli with his John Hancock. Okay, so if you sign in his name, so to speak, so put that together, like with Eli making money. So basically, like, we heard that Eli Manning said this about Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham could be a little selfish at times. That was it. But you never hear Eli Manning say anything ever, like, in the media about him. He's just like kind of nonchalant because he don't want to make a big story. But he told people close to him that that's how we felt about Odell Beckham. And that's kind of like, and I believed it, because if you ever watch Eli in interviews, all that shit, he like never really, he never talks down to people. But he was like being honest. He would never probably say that on TV, but to close people, like, it was like a little bit frustrating at times. And now we're starting to see that with the whole Baker thing, with Odell's daddy come to him, and which is ironic because Eli's daddy got him traded to the Giants, which is a little weird. I'm just thinking about that now. But, Odell's daddy, like, dissing Baker about not him getting the ball. And it's just funny. Like, maybe it comes back to you, Odell, instead of like, other people. Start blaming yourself. That's it.
He's done for the season.
Yeah. Wow.
Because they said they're basically excommunicating him from the team, and I think he goes through waivers, but the team has to pay $8 million for the rest of the year for him to join their squad for the next 8 weeks, whatever's left of the season. I mean, maybe somebody picks him up if they're desperate, like Oakland, maybe because they just lost Ruggs that have released Ruggs, but on
waivers to pay that money.
It's a lot, bro. Football's not baseball. You can't just plug somebody in like that and just expect it to work. Not something where you need to build chemistry between the quarterback and the receiver and other receivers with route combinations and all that shit. Like it's not as easy as maybe some other sports.
Yeah, just tell them to go.
Honestly, I don't think there's anything else left to say as far as the Gettleman trade of Odell Beckham, but we won that trade. Right now, we can trade Peppers and get something. Right now, we could trade Dexter Lawrence. We could get something. They're just releasing
the Browns couldn't trade Odell before the trade deadline. I mean, that's the reality there. I mean, I guess the Patriots are showing some interest. I know the Oakland Raiders are showing some interest, but with all the issues they recently occurred in the receiver department, I think the Packers were until Rodgers got COVID, and that's something we didn't even talk about. We kind of went long-winded on a few other topics tonight, but I mean, here the Giants are. Saquon Barkley looks like he might come back, and he might be out with COVID. Like, dude, don't even get me started on that nonsense. If you want to talk about somebody with bad luck, I think my man Barkley has the worst luck in the friggin' world in the NFL. Like, it makes no sense.
Jules, they had like 8 false positives, though.
13.
Like, right?
Yeah, so, and I forgot there was another team that had the same kind of situation. They had like 8 guys test positive, and then they did all false. It's like, yo, they get the 3-day test. That's the most accurate one. Have these guys come in on Monday, have it done. By Friday if they're in or out. That's it. Or Thursday, like
not even sick.
I think unvaccinated players get tested every single day.
That's what it is, right? Got it.
Yeah, and I think that they must have just popped a few when they got back from whatchamacallit. But I mean, I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy, bro. We just have a year and a half in or more.
Like they're not even sick. They're not even fucking sick. But like, yo, we got to test you anyway. Like, it doesn't make any sense, man. They just want these fucking people to get fucking positive tests.
That's it, dude. But you guys want to take a quick break and come back and do one of our most popular segments of the show, the Pick'em segment. Bring a little laugh, bring a little excitement back with the whole Pick'em. What do you guys say? Take a quick break, come back and hit that up?
I think so. We'll be right back with the BBO NYG podcast. All right, guys, we are back with our popular segment on the BBO NYG podcast, our Pick'em pool picks. I got to go over the standings like I do every week. This freaking guy, Woody, man. Woody is
fucking
just
Woody.
He has like mutual friends of ours saying, can we get Woody's picks before it gets locked so I could gamble on him? That I'm like, no, I mean, I almost want to give it to him because that'll be like a big jinx, and then Woody will probably just crumble after that because he'll gamble money following him, and then he'll have the worst week of his life. But Woody is up to 98.5 points. He's almost at the 100 century mark. Then my boy Rob is at 89, and the Big Blue Offensive is right behind Rob with 86. So we're right there.
Yeah, we're right there. Listen, we haven't put it together. It's just your boy Woody's on fire. Look, at some point, I think maybe like during the bye week or something like that, we'll figure it out where we got to figure out like what his percentage would be if he was betting all these games and like how what he would be like up wise, because I got to figure he's got to be like, damn, I don't know how many games it is, so I can't do the math that quick, but I would definitely say he's in the 60 to 65 range as far as being upwards. And like professional gamblers sell that. If you could sit there and be like, yo, I went 65% for the NFL season, bro, you're winning money. Like you're up and you could be charging people for money. So like, we'll have those numbers by next week or the week after, and we'll figure that out, figure out where this guy really is at, because this shit's just been too crazy. Like too crazy.
I want to cut his fingers off so he can't put his fucking picks in for next week. I want to be able to catch up to this.
Wait, are you putting your picks in over the phone? Where do you do it? At work? Are you at home? You use a computer? You use a laptop, iPad? What do you use, bro?
I want to take him down to it because I'm going to Borgata this weekend. I want him to take him down there so we can fucking gamble on the games. I'm like, tell me who you like. All right, but
guys, let's do this, man. Let's get this segment rolling.
All right, so the very first game, I got to talk about these assholes. The fucking team that knocked me out of every Survivor pool last week that I was in.
Oh my god, bro! I was so shit-faced and hammered by halftime at the Bills game because they like to go tailgate at like 7:30 in the morning. It's ridiculous. Long story short, I didn't realize that happened until like Sunday night when I like sobered up again, and I was like, wait, what? Fucking Bengals lost to the Jets. I was like, yo, I was like, this Mike White guy threw 400 yards and started talking shit to fucking Tom Brady. I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me, man. Yeah, it knocked me out as well. I don't even know how many people got knocked out on that survivable pick. So, yo, with that said, Mike, I'm just gonna jump right out. I think I gave you the preview. Yo, the Colts are gonna stomp them out. All right, I'm not buying this bullshit Jets. What's the line? 10.5?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yo, the Colts are mad. Wentz throws that retarded interception, or else they pull out that win. Bro, yeah, no. If the Colts don't win, I think Frank Reich's going to have an aneurysm and fucking get so heated, you're going to see that vein pop out of his fucking forehead. Yeah, no. If the Colts can't cover the Jets, then that's it. They're the new New York City team, and I can't even talk shit no more. But I ain't buying that. I ain't fucking buying that for a minute. Fuck Mike White.
I'll ride with Mike White. I'll take the Jets. John, it's up to you.
John, I'll tell you. Colts minus 10.5 or the New York Jets plus 10.5.
10.5 is a fucking lot. Basically, 2 touchdowns.
Oh yeah. All right, you guys want to go Jets? I can't believe I'm even saying that.
Jets
plus 10.5. All right.
Yep. I like that too, man.
Next game.
All right, the Bengals without OBJ are at home. They're minus 2.5 against they're going against the Browns. The Browns are without Odell Beckham Jr.
Bengals are home.
I think that the Bengals were just riding so high after that Ravens win. They went in, they overlooked this game. They knew they had another huge divisional rivalry on deck, on deck rather. And I think they just slept on the Jets. They slept on them. Don't forget these guys were getting 2-point conversions, last minute drives. Like the Jets has really won that in some crazy ass style. So for me personally, I think the Bengals bounce back and they beat the Browns.
I like the Browns. I think they win without Odell Beckham Jr. because Baker plays better without him.
Don, once again, you were doing another tiebreaker.
Bengals are home.
Yep.
I think they can take the Browns.
Bengals minus 2.5 it is.
With all the drama going on in Cleveland. All right, next game. The Ravens are at home. They're minus 6 against Minnesota Vikings, which totally blew it. They put up a stinker on Sunday night against the Cowboys, going against Cooper Rush, for Christ's sake. I'll never take the Vikings ever again.
Yeah, I'm glad you said what you just said. I've been supportive. I got a couple of buddies that are Vikings fans. I've been trying to get all round up. They look great. You're like, all right, the Vikings can make a run. They don't look so bad. And then they just look like shit. I would hate to be a Vikings fan. It's annoying. I can't this week. On the road at Baltimore, hell no. I definitely think the Ravens coming off of bye cover and they cover easily.
Yeah. Ravens. That could be a Moneyball pick, right, fellas?
That might be a Moneyball pick. I think we just Moneyball it. And watch, this will be the week that Minnesota shows up and Cook is all of a sudden 100% healthy and he goes for like 180 total yards or some nonsense on them. But no, I'm Moneyballing it. I think the Ravens win by 12.
I like that. All right, the next game, speaking of the Cowboys, they're home. They're minus 9.5 against the Broncos, who just traded Von Miller, by the way, which is for a second and third round pick, which is nuts.
It's because of that. I feel the Cowboys, right? Like if this game was in Denver, maybe they somehow get up for the home crowd no, man. Like, the Cowboys are just having that kind of season right now. And it makes me sick. I just almost vomited in my mouth right now by saying that. and like everything is just lined up for them. You know what I mean? As of right now, there is another whole half the season left, and hopefully they'll start playing some teams. But I think the Broncos, without Noah Fant, I think has COVID. He's out right now. Yeah, no, I think the Cowboys is going to be too much for that team, especially with no Von Miller. They cover at home. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
You know what the best thing about the Cowboys is? They start off strong usually, but at some point during the season, they just have an epic fucking Dallas collapse, and then we get to watch all their fucking fans start crying.
That'd be nice if it happens again this year.
Listen, I'm not saying that's not going to happen
every year,
but
like 30 years.
For 30, yeah, it's true.
I mean,
I'd rather go in like with some insane record, like like they're like 13-4 or something like that, and they got the whole field bye, and then they just get crushed in Dallas in the playoffs. But anyhow, we're not there yet. That's like a couple months away. For now, we taking the Cowboys minus 9.5. What are we doing?
John, what are you doing?
I don't know. How the Broncos going to keep up?
Yeah, right. They don't have the.
I'm just going to say I'm not picking the Broncos.
I gotta. Right. I'm not taking the Broncos either because they can't. They have no fucking offense to keep up with them, man.
We can't, guys. We gotta if we're gonna catch Woody, we gotta put the Giants podcast off our braids, take off the Giants gear. All right, we gotta catch Woody, man. Do it for Woody.
Right. Fuck Woody.
Fuck Woody, all right? We're coming for you, Woody. We're taking the Cowboys on the Big Blue Offensive Giants podcast. That's how much we coming for Woody this week. All right.
Next game.
When's the next game?
Saints are at home. They're -6 without Winston now going down with the tearing his knee for the fucking year. That's fucking a shame against his former team. Saints are going against the Falcons. I fucking hate Atlanta. Fuck them. They always fuck me. Like last week, they fucked me again. So you know what? I'm gonna take Atlanta again. Why not? Just fuck me even more. Fuck me harder.
And you know what's crazy, Mike? I would be on you with that, like 100%. Be like, yo, Falcons, yeah, they're gonna. I smell the upset. It's coming. It's gonna happen. But then, yo, Calvin Ridley's out for mental health issues. Like, like that team just like has like some weird shit going on. The Saints, they're still in that playoff picture at 5-2. They just found out Mike Thomas ain't going to be back. They lose Winston for the season. This is that time where their defense steps up, which is really good, knowing that they don't have that threat of Calvin Ridley to worry about. And I think they could shut down fucking Cordell Patterson and Mike Davis and fucking Kyle Pitts. That doesn't sound scary, all right? Yeah. At home, I got to go Saints.
I'm taking Atlanta, so it's up to John.
Atlanta.
All right, Falcons.
Fucking hate Atlanta. All right, next game. Bills are away. They're taking a trip down Florida to see the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bills are -14.5.
Oh, yeah, right. Come on, do I even need to talk about this game? They've been winning. Right? They might not have been doing it pretty. They won like 22-11 or something. Whatever fucking was this past weekend. It hasn't been pretty, but they cover every fucking game. You gotta ride the Bills all day. I'm even moneyballing it. Fuck Jacksonville. And you're telling me that James Robinson might be out? Please, dude. Stop. That shit should be. Yo, can we moneyball that one too?
I like Bills all day.
All day, Bills. Stop. Like, you know what? You know who just moved into the top for the fucking MVP conversation? Their guy, Josh Allen. So yeah, roll with the Bills, man. They're rolling right now. Unfortunately, they're the best team in fucking New York, but thank God they play like all the way by Cleveland. I think Cleveland's like an hour and a half from them and shit. But anyhow,
playing like Jacksonville's coach, he's just like, dancing with chicks at the bar. Do you see that Halloween costume that the dude dressed up as Urban Meyer with the Jacksonville sweatshirt? He had a blow-up doll tied up around his waist of the blonde. Fucking brilliant. That was a brilliant.
That was one of my favorite costumes that I saw all weekend long for sure.
Fantastic. My favorite costume, all the fucking nurse outfits and all that fucking slutty shit bitches wear on Saturday night. Oh my God. That's the best time of year. All right. Next is our game. It's Giants are at home. They're getting 2.5 points against the Raiders without the murderer. I'm taking the Giants. They gotta win. I don't trust David Carr and no Ruggs. They got all that shit going on with them. They probably got to answer questions about Ruggs all week, especially coming to the New York media. I'll take the Giants.
Is Waller playing?
He was
Oh, we
questionable.
did the Giants pick right now, not the last. We should make them the last pick.
Yeah, right.
It pops up on the way.
Yeah, it's just how it goes in the order of how they show it on the picture sheet. But yeah, like up until like a few hours ago when I heard that Barkley was coming back and you might get a healthy receiver, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what? Yo, especially with everything that's going on with their whole situation, the Raiders coming over from Vegas, yo, their head might not be right. Their head might not be right. And the Giants could sneak out a win. That's why that spread is 2.5. I mean, there's a reason that it's at that spread. But then it's still the Giants. And then it's still like this guy hurt, this guy not playing. I hate it. Like, I don't want to pick them. I don't want to pick them. I'm tired of picking them. I want to go opposite Giants. But this is where Woody takes the lead on us, and I'll go with the Giants.
Last time the spread was low like that, the Giants were going against Carolina. They beat them.
So that's true.
Vegas knows, and the Vegas Raiders, they'll know another loss come on.
If there's ever a time for them to have an inside line, it would be with their football team coming over to New York. So just something to keep in mind. It's just, I don't like it. I hate it. Let's go to the next game, please.
Right with the Giants, no doubt. Patriots are away. They're -4 in Carolina.
Patriots are rolling. They're already sniffing up playoffs. They look healthy. They got a run game going. Mac Jones is learning the system, getting into the game. I like the Patriots, man. I like them a lot this week.
That's a low.
I'm all in. What's
Sam
that?
Darnold going against Bill Belichick again. It was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Blowing them out. Belichick all day.
Let's see. I think we moneyball it too. Moneyball the Pats. This is the game where they let us down, but you know what? We do it. Fuck it. -4. Moneyball, right?
It's a strong one. All right, next game. Done. This is weird. We never see the Dolphins favored. The Dolphins are at home. They're favored by 6.5 against the Houston Texans. These are just two shitty teams. I thought that'd be a pick'em spread, not 6.5.
Well, even if you wanted to give that like automatic Vegas 3 for being the home team, cool. And if you wanted to fuck with the gamblers, make it 3.5 or something like that. You're not going to tell me that all of a sudden now 2 is clicking because Devontae Parker's back, and all of a sudden this Dolphins team is better. But they weren't that great. I just saw them in Buffalo. No, they're not. And now you're going to say the Texans, who's hung in some games and got destroyed in others, are just going to go into Miami and just get walloped? No. I think 6 is way too much to cover. I wouldn't be surprised if Texans win that game.
Right.
I like the Texans.
I like the Texans too.
Texas it is.
Next game, the Chargers are in Philly. Chargers are favored by 1.5. Fuck Philly.
Fuck Philly is right. And I think the Chargers coming off a bye, they bounce back. I don't give a shit if that game is fucking played in Philadelphia, and the Chargers had to stay there all week to play that game. You know, the Chargers are going to get it right. They know the division's in hand. You know, you got the Chiefs at 4-4 now. You know, you got the Raiders leading that division. That's a must win for them. The Eagles beat up Detroit, man. Fuck them. Chargers all day. You know what?
No.
Moneyball?
Herbert, well, I don't know. Herbert hasn't been playing that great the past few weeks. His play kind of like, remember he started off the year on fire, then he kind of went to shit.
A little bit. That's why I think he got right over that bye week, though. I don't know. That's me, man. Listen, normally they'll say that that whole, you know, East Coast to the West Coast, West Coast to the East Coast strip can screw up the teams because they play a little off because at 1 o'clock, it feels like they're playing at almost 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock rather. That's not the case. This game's a 4 o'clock game. It was got the makings to be like that, you know, NFL game of the week type of play. Yeah, no, they're playing regular time for the Chargers. Like, they are going to come in off that bye. I see the Eagles getting scraped. They got a team that doesn't even run the ball. They don't throw the ball, but then they somehow have an offense. It doesn't make sense. No, they're going to get scraped, bro. I would moneyball it, but yeah, Chargers to me all day. What do you guys feel?
Go with the Chargers.
Chargers. Are we moneyball or you want to wait for the last moneyball there?
Yeah, let's wait for the last one.
All right. Next game.
This is kind of which one I like. I like the Chiefs. They're at home. They're -7.5 against the Packers without Ron. They're going to go with Julian Love.
Yeah. No. Like, I hate that because I would have loved to have seen this matchup. We would have really have seen, like, you know, if Pat Mahomes is just rusty or if they're not right this year. But like, no Aaron Rodgers. Like, I don't even want to watch this game. Like it lost all its appeal. I like the Chiefs too, man.
Gotta roll with the Chiefs.
Gotta go Chiefs. -6. What are they? -7.5, 7?
7.5.
Next game.
This is the game I like. I like the Cardinals to bounce back. They're in San Fran to play the 49ers. Cardinals are -1. I love the Cardinals this week.
Is Kyler Murray healthy?
Good question. I forgot about
That's why the spread's what it is. There is no other reason the spread's what it is. Like, you're not going to tell me something San Fran that I was trying to bet all week is back, because they're not. I honestly think that this is a weird game that the 49ers end up pulling out, man. I think with that line being at 1, this is a fucking trap game. Big time. Because everybody's gonna be like, yo, the Cardinals are the best team. Kyler Murray was coming in. He was gonna win the MVP. They're going to the Super Bowl. Man, all AJ Green had to do was turn around and they called a touchdown, bro. Because they're gonna come in and smoke the 49ers. And it's a 1-point spread? Hell no. I'm all 49ers.
Begging you to take the Cardinals.
They are begging.
What's that?
They're begging.
They're begging you to take the Cardinals.
Yo, for real. This is a pick 'em. I'm gonna have to put my real money down on this. I am taking fucking 49ers.
San Fran?
I think so.
John, San Fran?
Sure.
Cardinals, by the way, they cost me my other fucking survivor pick on last Thursday night. Pieces of shits. Turn around, you jackass.
Sorry to bring that up. I remember you talking about that in the group chat, bro. That was a hard one there. I don't know. Did AJ Green think he was blocking or something? I have no. I don't know. What that was one of the craziest things I ever saw. That was a wild finish. That's all I gotta say.
Fucking like 5 seconds left. What else you doing? What else you doing there? You turn around for the.
As I said, maybe he was blocking.
Like, why would he be blocking?
Like a run play. Maybe Kyler Murray had I don't know. Maybe there was a decoy. I don't know. I have no idea what happened there.
He looked like an idiot. All right, next game. The Rams are at home. They're -7.5 to the Tennessee Titans, which lost Derrick Henry for the year.
Lost Derrick Henry. Von Miller's now in LA. The Rams are home. They're rolling with a chance to take control of the division. Hell yeah, I'm rolling with the Rams, bro.
I like the Titans.
Oh, really? John, who you like? The Titans or the Rams?
The Rams.
All right,
Rams, baby. Rams -7.5.
Because I could see everybody being so hyped with Rams getting that trade, and they're saying all the money's going to go there, and then all of a sudden Ryan Tannehill is down by 13 late in the fucking fourth quarter, and he comes down with a fucking fluke touchdown to fucking kill the spread.
Yeah, but no Julio Jones. I mean, or he is he's questionable to play.
Practice today.
They did. All right. Whatever. You still got a banged up Julio Jones. No Derrick Henry. Hell no, dude. I got to go. Anything to say just wanted Von Miller. We're going to finally see Von Miller let loose with Darnold and the rest of the crew. Hell no, man.
We'll see what the real football genius is next
week.
This
is fair.
All right. This is the last game. This is a Monday night game. Kind of shitty Monday night game. Steelers are at home -6 against the Bears. We all rooting for the Bears to lose. I know that.
Right. We're all rooting for it, and I see it happening. I think the Steelers can make a statement here. They know they go to 5-3. All of a sudden, they're back in the division. They need this game bad. They should be able to handle the Bears, because if they don't, then they're just going to be a mediocre team for the rest of the season. So I'm 100% in on the Steelers -6.5.
John?
Steelers. Sure.
I think that Steelers is the Moneyball pick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can do that.
I like them a lot on Monday night.
We could definitely make the Monday night game on last Moneyball pick for sure. Why not? I'm in on it. Because I think we were a little down the stretch there. We had a little bit discrepancies there with the Rams, the Chiefs, the Niners, the Arizona Cardinals, the Chargers, Eagles. So yeah, I think the Steelers there is the last Moneyball. We got the Ravens, we got the Bills, and we got the Patriots. That's our money picks. Fuck Woody. We don't know what Woody does. I think Woody listens to this show and it helps him. All right. All right. He sits there in the games that he was 50-50 on. He hears us going crazy about it. He sits there. And he does his extra analyzing and he puts in the picks, man. That's what I think Woody's been doing. All right.
It's the opposite way of us sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
That's it. Yo, Woody, we coming for you, man. I hope you're ready.
You would.
But I think that wraps it up, guys, man. It's been an interesting, week. A lot of things going on around the NFL, needless to say, with all the crazy things that have been in the news of late. look, I did say, and I hate to beat the drum and beat that dead horse, but I did say the Giants could just get us, 3 wins over that stretch. 3 wins, over that stretch. They're still technically in that 7-8 win range, despite everything, and that's still on the table. They pull out this win on Sunday. That's exactly what I asked for. Now they get a little healthy. Not that they're going to go in and beat Tampa on Monday night, but they're health. It's still that team. So with all that kind of nonsense said, I still stick by the team. It hurts. It sucks. But there's a lot more to life, and that's for sure. Keep it as entertainment. Enjoy the show. Laugh. Make fun of us. Come back at us. Hit us up at the BBLMYG podcast. You know to find us on Facebook, on our emails, on Twitter. It's all the Big Blue Offensive, right? So that's where you find us. That's where you send the comments. That's where you send your thoughts. We appreciate it. We enjoy the love. Hopefully the Giants pull out some kind of crazy ass win on Sunday so we could all just kind of laugh at it as we beat the Vegas, right? But that wraps up this show, all right? Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Peace.